Nu is the newest addition to the Assassin family, and it's already making quite an impact on the Flesh and Blood meta. I spent countless hours the past few weeks optimizing my own list, which is now available for my patrons over on patreon.com/organicgaming, and includes a full-on sideboarding guide for those that want to get started with the deck straight away. But what are my thoughts about the hero so far? Nu is great. I absolutely love the playstyle that you can make small attacks matter by banishing your opponent's cards and slowly fatiguing them. In practice though, games tend to last a little bit too long for the fatigue plan to come truly into effect. Sometimes you will still win games by fatiguing them, especially with all the life gain that is attached to all the new stealth cards, but the main power from the deck rests in cards like Bonds of Agony, Persuasive Prognosis, Surgical Extraction, and Leave No Witnesses. Each of these cards helps you to present a difficult choice for your opponent. Because this deck has so many attack reactions, you could easily spike an attack and then end up ripping a card from their hand or arsenal anyway. Because of this, you see some of the top players out there adopting a don't block Nu strategy, where they kind of let Nu do whatever she wants, knowing very well that as long as they keep racing the deck, they are likely going to present more damage anyway, even if they lose cards in their hand. The new legendary mask adds an interesting twist to the equation though. Being able to pitch a chi and forcing the opponent to banish a card from the hand is quite amazing, especially since you need to do this after they have already declared block, so you can kind of pick and choose if you want to reduce their 4-card hand to 3-card hand if they are not blocking, or the 2-card hand to a single card if they did block. You could run Traverse Universe instead and play a deck that is full of pummels and high cost attacks. However, I do think that the mask flavor is just too amazing to go that route. Would a pummel oriented Nu deck be better than mine? I'm not sure. One of the issues I have with Traverse when I play it in Zen is that sometimes you don't transcend early on and it kind of becomes a dead equipment for a very long time. It sort of makes me wish we had a titanium barbel-like chi available to us that starts as a chi in the deck without the need of transcending. A deck like Nu cannot run too many transcend cards because it's a mid-range control strategy, so if she gets too many 0 blocks in hand, she can become quite fragile. Nu's hero ability is great against ninjas specifically because if they do block your stealth cards, their combo cards get banished and they can no longer use them with Bonds of Ancestry. The activated ability of Nu is quite good against some heroes, but from what I've seen, a lot of decks are now opting out of useful blue cards so that they don't give Nu any materials to work with. Also, in most scenarios, when you do have the choice between activating Nu or activating your master rip a card from the opponent's hand, then usually ripping the card from the hand is just a better choice. As it stands right now, Nu has quite a few enemies in the meta. Pretty much all the warrior, illusionist, and ranger decks can prove especially tough because all of these decks either have incremental value or completely counter Nu's playstyle. Sitting through 12 or more trap activations from Riptide isn't fun, and neither is facing down a wall of auras you can impossibly beat. That said, the deck does have tools available to make some of those matchups bearable. Pick the Pieces presents an unpreventable damage source, so by stacking your reactions on top, you can usually clear the opponent's board of any ward cards. Also, Vampires of Determination is another tool that is quite useful against Enigma, especially since you can activate this one on top of a dagger to potentially remove 2 auras with a single attack. Against Azalea, we can play a fatigue strategy where we block all the damage we can and we just keep disrupting the plays when possible. Red in the Ledger is great and all, but since we are mostly a reaction-based deck, we can put in a lot of work with a single attack. Prism and Riptide are a whole different story though. I feel like both these heroes are as close to non-games as can be. The deck does not have enough 6 or higher power attacks to pose a real threat to Prism's phantasms, and we don't have a proper way to get out of an ALS loop either. Riptide is equally awkward because the traps will ping for 1 damage each, so you end up having to play a very weird fatigue strategy where you block every arrow and try to stop them from dealing any damage at all, so that you can keep your life total high enough that when you do start attacking in, the traps are not going to pose a lethal threat. This latter strategy is the only viable strategy I have against Riptide at this point of time, because if you play a normal value plan, they are going to grind you out with high value attacks and constant damage pings. All in all, I'm happy with the deck. If Prism or Riptide hits Living Legend at some point in the near future, I think this can become an S tier contender, but for now I strongly believe it's a solid A tier pick. If you are stuck mastering the deck, I do offer coaching for Nu on several Patreon plans ranging from 2 hours a month to full on weekly 3-hour sessions, so do check that out. Also, if you don't need coaching, I do have lower tiers where I will continue supporting and updating the deck as the meta shifts, so you always have my latest up-to-date deck list available to you with a sideboard guide and tips and tricks. With that said, I hope the information I shared with you all today is useful, and if you're planning to play new in the Nationals or other big events, I wish you the best of luck. Just make sure, if you do fight your way to the top of an event, to leave no witnesses. Take care everyone, and see you all soon with another Flesh and Blood video.